Hey y'all, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another video, and we are revisiting an older palette once again in today's video. And as you guys already saw from the thumbnail, the video that I'm going to be creating another look with is the At Forest Sight Raw Beauty Kristie collab with Colourpop. Definitely hands down my favorite palette that Colourpop has ever put out. It's just such a beautiful, like the artwork on here is stunning, and it just kind of embodies like a Raw Beauty Kristie. I feel like absolutely. I just love the aspects of it, and it really just makes me think of her nature. I love everything about it. It's just so beautiful. And then of course the inside is also very beautiful. I love these tones when it comes to a more nature themed palette, and it's just so stunning. So this was definitely a palette that I got requests for on Instagram, because I asked on my Instagram, I was like, what palettes would you like to see me bring back and do another look with? And this one got several votes, and I was super excited about that because I would really love to create another look with it. So I put this on the top of my list, and we're finally going to be creating another look with it today. So let me go ahead and zoom in a bit closer, and we can put this on our eyes. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm excited to do something fun with this color story. All right, I'm going to start with Let's Rain. It's got glitter in the outer corner, but I don't think it really hangs on at all, and it's a really beautiful deep tone, so I want to put that out there and we'll see what else happens. I still am trying to decide if I want to go green with the look or more reddish toned. You guys know I'm leaning toward green, which is why I think maybe I'll do red just to be a little different so you guys don't get bored of all my green looks. I'm just going to tap it on like that. I can't remember if this is the last palette I've purchased from Colourpop, but I don't try Colourpop palettes too often. I feel like I'm always a little disappointed in their shimmers, and then their mattes are always just like okay. Depends on how much I blend and play around with it. I got a decent amount of fallout. I haven't actually finished my face. I just put on some tinted primer today. I haven't even covered my under eyes or bronze contour or anything like that, so pretty sure that'll be an easy fix. But let's keep it going. That's nice and dark. I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead more purpley, and we'll probably do a pop of the greens on the lower lash line, but I want to go in with this shade next. Okay, so I just did it on this side. I really don't know what I'm doing today, but I'm basically gonna top this shade all over that black and kind of blend gently around it so that it kind of makes this a really dark, like purpley red. I think it's leaning more purpley tone than red. I thought it was a reddish tone, but putting on my eyes, I think I would classify it as a purple. This color story is so pretty. I love the amount of depth, and it wasn't just like brown depth that she put in here. Like she put, you know, a dark green. She has a dark brown in there, but she put a dark green, a dark, like whatever this shade is, purpley tone, and then that black with like glitter. It's like gold glitter. Thankfully, if I pat it down, and then now that I've put some on top of it, I don't see any of it. It's just kind of annoying to deal with. It's kind of my thoughts on little glitter or sparkle in a matte, but whatever. I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit here. Very pretty. So far, no issues. Like I said, it's been so long since I've tried this palette, but I feel like I remember having a touch of issues with some of, like one or two of the dark shades wanting to patch up. I think I want to put the green on the inner corner. I feel like grungy green to rich purple on the outside might be neat. Maybe it's just me trying to fit in green somewhere, but this is what we're gonna do. I'm taking on this little Give Me Glow brush, and we're gonna pop it right in here. I feel like green and purple always so pretty together, but let's see about this grungy green with this very royal type of purple. What is this purple called? Is it magenta eggplant? Maybe it's eggplant? I can't even remember, but this is super pretty. Oh, it's bringing back a lot of memories of Raw Beauty Kristie. I used to love her videos and like watch each and every one of them. I mean, I still watch her videos, not to make it sound like I don't watch her anymore, but she doesn't put up many videos much anymore, which, like, I'm not dogging on the creator, just, you know, stating a fact and what I've seen. But yeah, I always enjoyed her videos back in the day, and she was very creative with their makeup too. I always enjoyed watching her when she went for a really colorful look. They were so pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna go with Old Growth, and let's put that on the outer corner to blend out the dark shade. So far, these are blending beautifully. You have to let me know if you've tried Colourpop recently. How's their formula? I don't know, they come out with so many palettes that I feel like always look the same. I'm not often tempted to try them because of that, but then, I don't know, I've never been super huge fan of their formula, but have they gotten better over the years? I have this palette and then the Fade to Hues palette. I think those both came out around the same time. I can't even remember which one came out first, so that's why I'm naming both of them, but that's the last time I've bought or tried a palette from Colourpop, I should say. The color stories, I feel like for the most part, are always so like passable for me, or like, I don't know, some of them stand out a little bit. They came out with an all matte palette that I really Not gonna lie, I was wanting to get that, but it was such a large palette, and right now I have so many palettes, I talked myself out of it. But that one I was actually really wanting because it was a rainbow all matte palette. And yes, I have my Blend Bunny palette, but it doesn't mean I wasn't very, very tempted. I'm like, ooh, it's been a while since I've tried Colourpop. And you know, like I said, I do like their mattes much more than their shimmers, so I was very, very tempted, but I didn't get it. But I think that was the last palette that I was seriously considering picking up. So let me know. Are you someone who gets all their new makeup releases, or do you just pick up ones that really, like, the packaging really speaks to you, or the color story? Let me know, because Colourpop, how long have they been around? A long time, and I feel like they've never slowed down, really. They're always pumping out the launches as fast as they can. And I don't know, I feel like I go through palettes pretty quickly, but even I feel like they're way too fast. Like, I like to enjoy my palettes a little bit, and I feel like I'm someone who doesn't do a good job, like, thoroughly enjoying the palette. And that's one of the reasons, like, when I try a palette for the first time, and before I do a palette palooza, I try to do, like, all the type of looks that I would want to do with the palette before moving on, because I know I probably won't be coming back to it anytime soon, especially on my YouTube channel. But in general, I just don't go back to palettes often unless for comparison purposes, or like for Kate's Giving when I'm revisiting some of my favorite older palettes. But anyway, so I know I'm one to talk when I say that they're too fast with their palettes, but I still feel like it's too fast for me. I'm gonna go into this shade now. I'm taking on this Rephr 13, which is a beautiful brush.
This one in here, right? Right?
Yep, and I'm just gonna put it right up here.
What did you use it for?
I use that to cut the hairs on my legs so they stay short.
You can reuse it, right?
Yeah, I use them many times, but after a while it gets dull. The blades get dull, so they don't cut as well, and that's when I need to open a new one and put it on and throw the old one away so that it works better. So I'm just gonna blend it in like this. Sorry, we're having a very intense conversation over here about razors. You see it? I'm just gonna take this green and blend and soften it out. I think that's really pretty. That's pretty much the framework I'm gonna use, everything I'm gonna do for my mattes. Alright, I'm gonna take some NYX glitter primer and prep it. Since there are only two true shimmers, which is this one and this one, I'm gonna use this one all over the lid, and then I think I'm gonna use this as a topper, and I'm just not sure if it's gonna darken or lighten it, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it on the inner or the outer corner, so let me do a test. I think it darkens it. We're gonna go with putting it on the outer corner, but first we gotta put on the first shade, so let's go ahead and let me grab, I think this is a clean brush. This is the BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy A505. I love this brush for applying shimmers. I think it's clean. Let's go ahead and we're gonna pick up that Gold West Coast. As Raw Beauty Kristie has kind of stopped posting on her, posting as much as I should say, on her beauty channel, I've really been enjoying her other channel. I think it's The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. Love the pun. I think that's so, so cute. But I also just love the content. Like, her videos, not only is it fun to like watch them kind of create that life of, you know, being able to grow their own stuff and use what they have on their land and have a little kind of like oasis of their own out there. It's so neat to see them progress every year and see what they're working on. But also they just do a beautiful job, I think, in editing and presenting all of their videos. So I just love watching them. They're so calming, and the videos are just such a joy to watch that I definitely have put it on just to kind of wind down at night and watch, and I find it so relaxing. That's another one I wouldn't mind if they posted more. I get why they don't. I'm not trying to dog on them or make them feel bad, but I definitely do enjoy the content they put over there, and it's been so neat kind of seeing how things are going for them and whatnot. And the place they live on looks beautiful. Whenever they kind of show it, it's so pretty in the woods with the trees. And I'm someone who loves the beauty of the forest. I'm not crazy about like the little insects of the forest. Definitely not my favorite aspect of it. And maybe it's because I'm used to the forest down here, where if you sit down or don't watch where you're stepping, you're likely to step into an ant pile and then be jumping and running around, or walk into a spider web. That's another thing. Do they just not have spider webs like they do in Florida? Because I feel like I go into my woods and I have to wave like this with my hand in front, because otherwise I'm gonna run into a big spider web and then be flailing and spitting and trying to get it off of me. Again, maybe that's just me. I love nature. I love the forest. The forests are so beautiful. Trees are so beautiful, but I don't like the little bugs. I know they have a purpose. I know they have a place in the world, but they're just not my favorite. We have a couple, I mean, we've got a lot of trees on our property, but there's a couple distinct trees in our backyard, like oak trees, that are beautiful, and like I just love to look at them, especially if like it's a windy day and watching them kind of move, all the leaves move gently. They're just so beautiful. And just like watching how the trunks form and shape and whatnot. So pretty. There's a couple areas around here where we drive, and it's like one of those little roads that have huge, like huge oak trees, and they kind of come to form a canopy over the road. They're my favorite roads to go down. I think they're so beautiful. Okay, so that shade is definitely beautiful. Stunning gold. No complaints. Let's go ahead and see what evergreen does. I think we're gonna put it more on the center to see, and then that way I can kind of take it more to the inner corner if I went to, or the outer corner, just depending on what it looks like topped on top of it. I think it's gonna darken it, but I like to be extra safe, so let's just pop it in there. Yeah, it'll darken a little bit, so I'm going to just put it all over out here. I don't even know if you'll be able to tell because it's so light. Maybe I'll just use my finger. That'll get a more saturated application and also more smooth. I feel like it was looking a little bit like it wasn't wanting to mesh on top here. I don't know, I feel like it's taking away from the beauty of the gold. Maybe I'm having regrets. Not maybe I'm having regrets, I am having regrets. Maybe this wasn't a good idea, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. Oh well, gotta do it to this side to keep them even, but I think I'm going to put a little bit more gold to overshadow this, and we'll just pop this shade in the inner corner as well. Yeah, see this, I feel like the shimmer, this iridescent shimmer could be pretty, but I don't like it. It's just not that pretty. Maybe it would stand out more if I did like a white concealer base and then put this on top, but I don't know, I feel like it's so dark. It's not my favorite type of iridescent duochrome. I just feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, not my favorite. So I'm just gonna go back in with the gold and top it back off and smooth it back over to get some of that pizzazz back. I kind of ruined the line up here. So I don't like using my finger. Makes things messy. But oh well, we're gonna do this, and then let's see. All I haven't done is my inner corner and my lower lash line, but I gotta finish my face first. And I gotta go check on the kiddos real quick. So I'm just gonna do that off camera. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a little bit of this deep shade on my outer corner, and then I'm going to put this on the outer edge and blend it in with a little bit of green on the inner edge. And then, like I said, pop this in my inner corner. So I'm going to do that off camera, maybe do a wing, we'll see. Maybe I won't, we shall see. And then we can close out this video, so be right back. Alright, so I think I finished my makeup. Might have forgotten a step, honestly. It's been a little crazy here with the kids since I finished up, but they just ran outside to have a little treat on the back porch, so I'm going to finish out this video very quickly. This is the completed look. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll stick up close-ups like I always do so you guys can see, but I really like how it turned out. I feel like overall it's a really pretty look. I don't really think I did this combination with the grungy green on my inner corner and then so much purpley pink tones on the outer corner, so hopefully I give you guys something different than what you've seen me use with this palette in the past. But overall, everything in the palette, all the shadows I used performed remarkably well. Like every single matte which I used, let's see, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, and they all performed absolutely beautifully. Like did not have any issues combining them, blending them out, setting them down, none patched. So I feel like, you know, like I feel like I've always said when I've talked about this, I had a little bit of issues, but I had 0 issues today. So maybe it was just a me problem that day when I used it and got an issue, because I thought I remember it not patching and not wanting to stick in a certain spot, but absolutely beautiful today, stunning. And the shimmers, I like West Coast. The gold, I like it. It's a great shadow, beautiful formula, very pretty gold. It's the type of gold that I think is very beautiful to wear. I love it. I'm not a big fan of evergreen. I feel like it was trying to be that special shadow, but it's just kind of like a dud. It worked for my inner corner highlight-ish. It's not the most blinding, but definitely this type of iridescent duochrome, I don't think Colourpop does very well, or at least didn't back then. They just launched or shared that they're launching a palette full of a lot of duochrome, so I'm curious to see how that one goes, if they've improved their formula, but this one wasn't much to talk about. But this shade, this gold, absolutely stunning. I really did like this shade, and I wish they would use this formula more in their palettes because the formula is beautiful. So those are my thoughts, kind of revisiting the Raw Beauty Kristie at Forest Site palette with Colourpop. I really do enjoy this palette, and this is a palette that I think is just such a classic. Like, it's my type of neutral tones, it's my type of everyday look, so I just find so much value in a palette like this. And this is definitely a palette that if it ever disappeared from my collection and I had to decide if I would want to repurchase it, definitely worth worth repurchasing, definitely worth finding it like on Mercari or something, and even if I had to pay a little bit more, it would be worth it to me because the tones are so beautiful. The artwork of this palette is so stunning. Like, I have it behind me whenever I do videos because I think it's so beautiful to see. It's one of my like display pieces for my palettes. I absolutely love it, and overall just a really great kind of everyday eyeshadow palette for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, enjoyed getting to see an older palette brought back to my channel, and thank you guys so much for, you know, letting me know what palettes you would like to see. As I said, this got a lot of votes. I think this was one of the most voted on palettes when I was asking, or just like people kept saying at first sight when I put the box up and I was like, what palettes would you like to see me do another look with on my channel? This one got a lot of requests in there, so very excited to be able to bring this back for you guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you're enjoying Kate's Giving as always, and don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, LadyKatie92. That's where everyone was able to request. I don't think I did it on YouTube at all. And whenever I'm working on video ideas, I often just ask you guys over in my stories if I need input and whatnot. So if you want to follow me over there and be in the know of future, you know, video ideas, or just be able to put in requests like this, follow me over there, LadyKatie92. And with all that said, I'll see you guys very soon in my next video, hopefully tomorrow. Bye guys.